let me just introduce myself real quick in case you're new and you don't know anything about us or, you know, who I am or what. My name is Elli Milan, and I have been a professional artist since 1996. So that is, I graduated from art school then, and I worked at a bank for, well, I graduated I think in 95. Anyway, I worked at a bank for, and that was not fun. I didn't enjoy that job. And then I became a professional artist. I got a job painting in the decor market, and then within a year I was on my own in my own studio, independently painting. It was really great. I think I was about 25 years old, 24, no, I think it was 24 years old when that happened. And so John, my husband, he's also an artist, professional artist. So we've both been painting and selling our artwork really all over the world since 1996. And so it's been an incredible adventure. You name it, we've probably done it in you know, the art world. And we've even been in a museum, so that's pretty cool. And so then in 2010, along the journey, a lot of artists would ask me all the time, how do you do it? How do you make a full-time living selling your art? You know, it looks like you guys do pretty well. Like, how do you do this? And I would help people along the way, but I didn't really have a platform or a vehicle to really teach people. So in 2010, I decided to open Milan Art Institute for the sole intent of helping artists really turn their passion they have for art into a career and a profession where they can make a full-time living selling their art. I wanted to teach people how to do what I knew to do. And so that's what we started the art school in 2010. And so now, I think it's about 4 years ago, we started to go online and have our classes online, and so now it's mostly online, except for, you know, we do some on-site workshops, and we have, you know, artist events here, and we do various things here on campus, and we have some cool, exciting things coming up that we're going to be doing on campus. But anyway, that's a little bit about the school and what we do. And so today I am going to teach you guys all about limited palette. And really there's two kinds that I know of limited palette painting. So one is where you literally use like 3 colors or 5 colors. I guess in some cases you could go up to 7 colors, but then it starts to not being too limited. So if you're going to use 3 colors, it would be the primary colors, yellow, red, blue. If you're going to expand that, I think you need white. It's pretty important, so that would be 4 colors, and the 5th being black, or like a raw umber, or, you know, something dark, Payne's gray, something like that. So with that very limited, only 5 colors, you try to mix as much variety of color as humanly possible by using a little different proportion every time you mix a color, by only using those 5 colors. And if you are an art club, I'm going to be talking about art club a little bit later, but if you are an art club, this month's theme, in case you missed it, every month we do a theme, and we have a competition. So this month's theme is limited palette, paint your mountain. So it's whatever that means to you, paint your mountain in a limited palette. And you can choose one of 2 ways to use a limited palette. Either the way I just described, where you just have, you know, 5 colors and you try to create as much variety as possible. And we have an actual lesson on that in art club. So if you're in art club, look for that lesson. And Dimitra's teaching that one, my daughter Dimitra, and you will see. In this workshop, I'm doing something a little bit different with limited palette, and that is where you use tons of different colors. As you can see, my palette here of acrylic paint has lots and lots of different colors on it. I have yellow, I have orange, red, blue, purple, magenta, green. I've got all the colors, lots of them, but they're all going to funnel into basically yellow. So I'm choosing such a weird color for me. I hardly ever paint in yellow. I would say yellow and green is what I least paint in. So I wanted to challenge myself and choose a color that's not typical. If you can see this unicorn painting in the background. That's basically a magenta painting. So that's a limited palette painting. Every single color, whether even that kind of greenish yellow up in the top right corner, every single color in that painting has magenta thrown into it. Every single color. You pick the color, whether it's pink or white or yellow or orange, it has magenta in it. So I choose one color, in that case it was magenta, and I throw it into every single color. And that gives it this overall cohesive, sort of almost monochromatic look with lots of color variety. And the idea is you want to have, 100 million shades of magenta or pink. And so that's how that was made. So I am doing the same thing, but it's going to be yellow. And so here is my source. If you want to look at, what I'm going to reference today in the painting to use. And my source has other colors in it, but as I paint it, I'm going to funnel it all into yellow. So yellow is my dominant color. So when you're making this kind of a limited palette painting, you choose one color, one dominant color. It can be yellow, green, blue, red, violet, or some kind of, like in this painting I chose magenta. You choose one color, and then on your palette you want to make sure that you squirt out a whole lot of varieties of that one color. So I have more yellow here than anything else on my palette, and then I supplement that with all the other colors because I'm going to mix yellow into all of them to produce as many different colors of yellow I possibly can. So just to kind of recap the two ways, one is you start with maybe 5 colors, yellow, red, blue, or some form of it. Could be yellow ochre, burnt sienna, and viridian or ultramarine blue or something like that. So some primary palette of 3 colors, and then black and white, and you try to create as much variety out of those colors as you can. I'm not doing that today. What I'm doing is the other kind of limited palette where the overall of it is going to be one color, almost like a monochromatic painting, and that's produced by lots of color variety, but you mix your one color you choose into everything. So that is what I'm going to teach you today and demonstrate. I got this painting a little bit going. I got a base going there. As you can see, there's a lot of yellow on it already, and then some sort of brighter, more fluorescent colors underneath it, but I'm going to be putting a lot of yellow on top of that. So you're going to see me hopefully finish this. So that's the plan, that's the goal. And also, we are going to have a giveaway today at the end of this, which is going to be really fun, really cool. So I look forward to seeing who wins our awesome giveaway. And also I have a few surprises. So we're going to also have a question and answer on here, and we will have a guest that's going to come that I'm going to introduce during that question and answer. So a lot of cool stuff happening today, and so make sure you kind of stay for the whole thing. Okay, so let's get started. I'm going to you know what? I forgot. Went and grabbed my brushes, and then, oh my gosh. What did I do with them? I just grabbed my brushes. Oh, they're right there on the table, right there on the table. It's so funny. It's like we were so organized this morning. I have no idea. This is the most organized I think we've ever been on one of these workshops. And then my studio is down here where we film, and things get stolen all the time and missing. Not actually stolen. Usually I'm the one stealing it, but they get taken for this or taken for that, and then they're gone. And so I had our Fearless mixed media acrylic brushes, a whole set of them that I used all the time, and they've all gone missing. So I went to go get myself a brand new set for this because I need them. And then I set them down and I forgot to grab them, or take them out of the package. So anyway, but other than that, we were like fully prepared. except maybe paper towels. I think I forgot paper towels too. Okay, so I got my brushes now, so that's good. And then there's paper towels right here. Okay. All right. So looking at my source, thank you. Another reason why I wanted to paint this source I made. When you're making a source with limited palette, the program I used was Pixelmator. It's kind of like Photoshop, but a little bit easier to use, at least for me. You can change the color tone of any photograph you use. You can tweak it in effects and different things. You can even do that on your phone, right? There's a lot of photo apps. So really, photo apps can get you to let's see what this looks like in blue. Let's see what this looks like in this color. And you can tweak till you get it how you like it. So anyway, I wanted to kind of choose a weird color like yellow or something like that to show you how you can do skin tones with a limited palette. So if you look at her skin tone, it is like bright yellow, like bright canary yellow, but it still looks natural. It still looks beautiful. And so that's basically because you saturate the painting with so much yellow, then yellow isn't special anymore. Yellow kind of stops being yellow. Yellow starts being pink. Yellow starts being, blue or green. Yellow starts to become other colors because you've put so much yellow in there. Okay, so I am going to just get going here and start painting. I'm going to start with the background a little bit. And every time I mix a color, I'm going to throw some form of a yellow into it, just so that every single color on there has yellow, and that will give it it's basically a kind of an easy trick that will give everything a cohesive look and look like it's a yellow painting, a limited palette painting. And I'm using acrylic. So if you are doing this with me and you have a painting that you have going in a limited palette, or you start one, you can use oil. You don't have to use acrylic. I was just using acrylic because I usually paint in oil, and I thought I would just shake it up a little bit today and paint with acrylic. So as you can see, what you're going to see at the end of this is that this entire area will be some form of yellow, and all the pure color will be on the edges. Oh, I was wondering why I couldn't see so good, and it's because my glasses are on my head. So now I know why. So every single color gets yellow. And I like to paint sort of back to front, whatever's going on in the background first. And then start painting the actual subject next. So even with a touch of blue, I'm still going to throw some yellow into that. So every color gets yellow. So, Sometimes it's hard to talk while you are painting because, like, I don't know, you get in your right brain. Does that ever happen to you where you're in your right brain painting and then somebody asks you a question and you're like, I don't, that happens to me all the time. So, I can either paint good or talk good, but I usually can't do both. I am not using any medium. I am just using paint. I have a glazing medium right here, but I'm basically not using any medium right now. And even though I'm using the complement of purple here, or violet, to yellow, there's still yellow thrown into it. So, oops, by the end of it all, it will, it'll still look yellow. Okay, how's everybody doing? Feel free to, like, you know, talk in that chat and get to know everybody. And I wonder if there's anybody watching who's in art club. I bet there is. So if you are in art club currently, and you've participated in, especially if you've participated in any of the competitions that have gone on there, like, just let us know in the chat and let us know how it's gone, and what you think of art club. We have so many cool things coming up in that. We're getting ready to go to Greece for our Greek trip. I mean, not really. It's a bit off. Let's face it. It's February, but I'm so looking forward to it. It feels like it's right around the corner. So anyway, that is coming up in May, and we are filming this season of Outstanding Artist in Greece. So that is going to be so cool. Shots are going to be so beautiful, and all the challenges are going to be so much fun. And so if you don't know what Outstanding Artist is, I think we're going to show a little trailer later so you can actually see what it's all about. But it's really fun. It's like a reality show just for artists, except minus all the, like, drama and, you know, crazy stuff that happens in some. The only drama you see is, you know, art drama, like people crying because they don't like their painting and that kind of stuff. So no, like, love triangle kind of drama. Okay, I gotta stay on track because, you know, I don't want to lose track of time here in right brain land and, like, mess up. So I am doing basically what the art club challenges this month. So if you're watching from art club, you're kind of getting an advantage because you're seeing me kind of do the challenge, because I'm painting this girl and a mountain, and that's the challenge this month: paint your mountain. So pretty exciting. I like to use big brushes in the beginning because why do I like to do that? I don't know. It keeps me loose, right? Don't you guys like to stay loose? I don't like to get too tight too quickly, because if I do, then my painting gets boring to me. And so, does that ever happen to you guys where you get, like, kind of bored painting and you don't even want to finish your painting because you're already bored of it? So that, it's just my temperament, I guess, and what works for me. So I try to keep things interesting And see, I lost track of what I was saying. I like to keep big brushes so that I stay loose and it stays fun for me.
Why the bold colors in the background?
Huh?
Why the bold colors in the background?
Well, I'm looking at, so he asked why the bold colors in the background. And if you look beneath the surface of what's on top, there's a lot of really bold colors. And beneath the yellow is like some magentas. And so the idea is to have that first before, as I do these, all the highlights, because you do kind of highlights last. As I do the highlights, you're going to see a lot more yellow go on there. I'm still mixing, like this is a kind of a magenta color, and there's plenty of yellow mixed into that. And it's exactly how I did that painting. You see a little bit of orange or yellow or blue or green here and there. Because if you just took yellow, white, and let's say black, and all you had was yellow, white, and black, it would look like a cartoon. It would look really, really boring and cartoony, and it would look terrible. So you have to have complements. So into the yellow is a lot of purple, into the purple is a lot of yellow, and yellow's thrown into every color, and that's what will give it that monochromatic, limited palette look. That's why that painting, at first glance, looks like a big pink painting. So so that's sort of, you know, the theory behind it, and you know, what will make this limited palette painting work. Almost the worst thing you can do is use just a few colors and have a painting that's, you know, sort of monochromatic. It will look really unsophisticated, very cartoony, unless you're just kind of well, even still, if you're going for like a natural look, like only, what do you call it, like, you know, like grays and browns and whites and grays and, you know, earth tones, you still want to use lots of color and mix a lot of complements, and have a lot of variety. I think it's what's going to make the paintings look, you know, really sophisticated. So, okay, time to get serious. I think, no, I better put a couple more things in here, and then I'm going to get rid of the big brush and kind of move down. So I'm going to get some kind of white and peachy color up here and in here, and then I'm going to kind of start doing more details. Also, if you don't want like your hairs to come out of your brushes, because I did this so fast, when you get these brushes, this is an Oxtail brush, and it's probably my favorite brush in the universe, honestly. You want to like kind of do this and go like this to get all the excess hairs in the manufacturing out of it, and then it's good to go. And I didn't do that, so you see some hairs here, and then it's bad because they'll end up on your painting, and you don't want that. So that's kind of a step, and you only have to do that on a brand new brush. All right, what was I doing? So if you've never really tried a minimal palette painting in this way, I highly recommend it. It's actually pretty easy. It's not that difficult. And the results are really, really cool. Especially if you struggle with color and you're not sure what colors to use. It's a great way to kind of overcome that. I picked all these colors because it was what I was seeing in the source, but I also wanted a balance. So I make sure I have, you always, no matter what painting you're ever doing, you have to have yellow, red, blue. You really can't function without those primary colors. And I think you should have the primary and tertiary colors, which are orange, green, and violet. So I have a yellowy green. It's the only green I have. And then I have magenta, purple, you know, and violet. I have like maybe one blue. I have raw umber, or raw umber, because it's a kind of yellow. It's a yellow-orange. That's brown. I got yellow ochre. So I have lots of yellows. These are all yellow right here. So basically I picked every yellow I had under the sun and put it down here. And then I just basically have one of kind of the other colors, and then a lot more of the complement. So you always want to really work in a complementary palette. So if you choose yellow, then that's going to also mean you are choosing violet as well, right? So, because it's the complement. Okay, now it's time for some details so this can really come to life. So where did that brush go? Oh, here it is. So let me put, I'm going to still work on the background, put the highlight here on, and some details on this mountain. Also, you guys, especially whether you're working in oil or acrylic, you know, aim for brush strokes. Aim for accurate, good-looking brush strokes, right? So a good way to do that is you just kind of mix your color, then you eyeball, you know, what is the shape that you're looking for. So I'm looking at this shape right here, and you just kind of memorize it, how it comes down, over at an angle, down, and then across. And then you just plant your brush and deliver the brush stroke without blending, right? You don't want to blend every time with your brush stroke, because it's like you're erasing something. You're erasing that record of how you're feeling, how you were thinking when you delivered that brushstroke. And brushstrokes are beautiful. They actually artwork sells better the more the brushstrokes are seen. So it's pretty incredible. And I don't know why artists so often want to cover up brushstrokes. It's like they feel exposed or something, or like, I don't know, like too much is being seen or something like that. So I highly recommend you just leave the brushstrokes. And I'm just basically building towards highlights, saving my highlights on this mountain last. Another thing you really want to do is vary your brush stroke, right? You don't want same brush strokes all the time. I call it stab and dab, right? Do you know what stab and dab is? So you get paint and then you just stab and dab, and it's the same, and you get kind of this, you know, look all over that looks redundant, and it's kind of that, it gets a little bit of an amateur look, or it's not as sophisticated than by varying your brush strokes. So you really want to do that. So how you vary your brush strokes is you turn your brush, you hold your brush in different ways. You can hold it back here, hold it this way, deliver the paint in different ways, different directions. And so that's what you want to do. So still mixing yellow into every single color. So see how that magenta just turned into a shade of yellow. I haven't. I know I poured it out, but I haven't used it. So in a little bit, maybe like 5 minutes or so, we're gonna take a little bit of a break, like a 3-minute break, in case you want to go get something, you know, to drink or eat or go to the bathroom or something. And we will have a really cool video for you to watch. And then I'm gonna, when we get back, I'm gonna work on these. What am I saying? I'm gonna work on the skin tones. So yellow skin tones. I'm getting there. I'm almost to that point. And then I can also freshen up my paint because acrylic dries pretty quickly, and I think it's about time I freshen some of this up. Okay. So I'm out of white. I think we should take that break now. That wasn't 5 minutes, was it? Okay, so what we'll do is we are going to take a little short break. I am going to stop painting now. Yes. So we're going to take like a 3-minute break. I'm going to freshen up some paint. You're going to watch this fantastic trailer about Outstanding Artist, what I was just talking about. And also, when we get back from the break, I'm going to talk a little bit more about why is a limited palette easier to sell a painting in limited palette. And that doesn't mean you have to make all your paintings limited palette now. But I think that there's a good selling point when it talk about that this break.
For the next 30 days, these 11 artists will be participating in 20 challenges that will put their artistic skills to the ultimate test.
Let's do this. I never fail.
I really like to push boundaries with my art.
I am very much looking forward to seeing how these artists are gonna like freak out.
You're never too old.
I can't wait to see what unfolds.
That just makes it more competitive.
I started to get a little nervous. This is not going to be a piece of cake.
Very excited to discover new things about the way I can paint.
The pressure's on!
Welcome to Milan Art Club. My name's Jake Dunn and I'm the Milan Art Club director. I'm so excited that you're here. So what is Milan Art Club? At its core, Art Club is designed to enrich the artistic experience by helping artists discover new techniques and explore their artistic voice. Art Club is filled with hundreds of videos that deliver artistic insights and new techniques to keep you inspired every single month. Art Club is truly created by artists for artists. When setting out on this adventure, we asked ourselves, what would we want as artists? And the answer was Art Club. Every month in Art Club is centered around a new theme with a new contest that has $1,000 worth of prizes. Here are some of our past themes and contest winners. So far, we've given out over $20,000 worth of prizes. All of the videos in Art Club are taught by professional artists with years of experience creating and selling art. We've covered over 150 different topics in Art Club and continue to add new videos every single month. Milan Art Club is truly designed to keep you in the creative river and filled with endless inspiration. And I'm so glad that you're here right now and that you're joining Art Club because it really is such an amazing place for artists. Not only does Art Club have hundreds of amazing and inspiring technique, insight videos, art history videos, critique videos, just a ton of different videos that you can watch to become inspired from, but we also have created an exclusive reality show that only Art Club members get to watch. We created the reality show, The Outstanding Artist, to be a source of inspiration and entertainment and education at the same time for artists, because what we do is we take 10 artists and they go through the most intense challenges. They actually do the same challenges that you do in Art Club, but under strenuous and extreme situations with limited time. And it's actually really fun to watch because these artists, they are truly an inspiration. I mean, they overcome and they complete some of the most beautiful paintings in really difficult situations. And it's something that you just definitely have to see. And there are 2 seasons available for you to watch with over 60 episodes. And the winner of the Outstanding Artist gets $25,000 as a cash prize. And you get to determine who is the winner of the Outstanding Artist. So you definitely want to join Art Club because, I mean, it's just, there's all these amazing different aspects to it. And I can't wait to see you there.
Okay, so we're back. What'd you guys think of those trailers? Pretty cool, huh? We have so much fun working with artists and filming all that stuff, and we have fun, you know, hearing your guys' reactions in Art Club after you've, you know, been watching these things, and it's really cool. So I'm going to do just a quick overview on what I've done so far, and maybe like what I did in preparation, because honestly, if I did this painting start to finish, you know, it would be a 5-6 hour workshop, and we, you know, not a 5 or 6 hour workshop. So I had to kind of get it started a little bit and then hopefully finish it for you guys. I don't know. There's a couple things that are basic about acrylic. One is I have this medium here that I haven't really used, and this is a glazing medium. I used it in the beginning. So see how this orange here, or I'll use this fluorescent magenta, it's a transparent. And look on my palette, see how when I put this medium, it becomes transparent, right? It's not opaque like milk, it's transparent like stained glass. And then if I add it to any color, you see that layer in a transparent way with that medium. So that's called a glaze. So then you can glaze over anything, really, with a transparent color. And how do you know if your color is transparent or it's opaque? You can usually tell just by looking at it. Like, obviously that is opaque, you can't see through it, and this one is transparent. This green here is transparent. So as you can see on the glass, so this is a glass palette, not plexiglass, glass, because plexiglass, things stick to it. Glass, you can scrape it up. So this is transparent here. Now, if I were to do that here, it's not transparent, right? It's opaque, you can't see through that. So that is sort of the difference between the transparent and the opaque. And you would use, you can use your paint anytime you want. And as soon as you add a opaque into your transparent, it becomes opaque. But basically, you can paint with both throughout your painting. But if you need something to be see-through, then you need to use a transparent and the glaze. The other thing I did is I worked sort of back to front, right? So everything that's in the background, and now I'm working on the portrait and the things that lay on top. So that makes sense. That's pretty intuitive that you would work from far away to what's closest, and those details sort of last. Another way that I work in terms of order of things is dark to light, typically. That doesn't mean all the darks on the whole painting and all the lights last, because I already put the highlights here on the mountain. But when I was working that certain area, I laid in all the darks, then the midtones, then the highlights. As I do this portrait, I'm going to reiterate these darks. That kind of got green as I put the yellow glaze over it, and I'm going to add the complement into that to kind of get rid of that green. So I'm going to reiterate these darks and then work towards the highlights on the portrait. And so that's a good way to work. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that's kind of if I'm forgetting anything. So we're also going to have a really great question and answer. I'll be able to answer any of your questions that you might have, and we're going to do that pretty soon, as soon as I'm finished with this painting here. So even this dark color, I still threw a little yellow into it, just so it would have that cohesive look. Yeah, you vary your brush strokes, just holding your brush differently, moving it around, and then you have to look at your painting too. That's pretty important, so that that it has variety. Sometimes when we're really close to something, we lose track, and it's not, when you look at the same painting for so long, you kind of lose a grip on what it actually looks like. So it's good to kind of stand back and look at it from a distance, so you can really see all my brush strokes are the same, or whatever. And layers, I'm putting this dark in the eye, because I'm gonna add the highlights after. So this yellow highlight that's in there is gonna come after. But I'm kind of putting that dark in there first. So my goal right now is to just reiterate these darks, and then I'm going to kind of put in, I keep saying kinda, not kinda, I'm going to put in the midtones, and then I will finish with the highlights. And hopefully by the end there, we will have a yellow looking, skin tones. You just have to remember, always add yellow into every color you mix. And don't forget that. And as you can see, by adding that kind of magenta magenta brown. It's getting rid of, because of the red in it, it's getting rid of that green that's there. Well, I messed up, so I'm just trying to, get rid of it. So what you can do is get your finger on your paper towel and get some water on it and try to wipe it away. But before it dries. So there, it wiped away. I was trying it with my finger. I just have the wrong shape of the face here. There we go. So what do you guys like better? Do you like oil or acrylic? Or does anybody in the chat there use both? I like to use both. I like to use acrylic for an underpainting. And then I like to do oil on top because oil is very alive and you can really like create a lot of depth with warm and cool sort of paint technology. If you guys are wondering about warm and cool and what that's all about in terms of oil paint, I highly recommend that you go to our YouTube channel, Milan Art, and there's a free video on there that talks all about warm and cool and how to utilize it in your paintings. And it should be pretty easy to find on there. So I think that that would be like a good place to go. Oftentimes in these workshops, we teach about it. We're not teaching about it in this one because I'm using acrylic. But if in the future when we're doing oil, then we would have that.
Can you talk about the skin tones and how you're mixing that using yellow?
The skin tones are going to come with the highlights, like as soon as in the mid-tones, because I will start adding more of the yellows that are taking place in there, and that's when you're going to really see the skin tones. The other day I was working on this painting. If you follow me on Instagram or TikTok or something, you'll see it. I'll post it soon. But anyway, I was working on a limited palette painting where all the skin tones are orange. And then there's oranges in the background. And I started the painting in our last workshop that we did with the intuitive painting. And I started it there, and it was, when I wasn't using a source, it was not that great looking. But then I got a source once the idea came through the intuitive painting, and now I'm really liking it. And what started it all was, just intuitively, it had this orange yellow cast to it, which inspired the oranges. So a color really inspired everything in that painting that came through intuitively, because again, like, orange is not really a color I would paint in very often, and for whatever reason that day, that's what I did. And so I'm really grateful that I was able to sort of use the intuitive part of myself, or the process, to paint, and that came out. And then from it, I started doing a limited palette skin tones all in orange. So this one's all, and what I was really learning and teaching myself through that is how with a limited palette, if you really saturate it, like this whole face is yellow. And do you see how this is beginning to read as skin tone? She's not looking like a yellow alien, and it's because there's yellow in everything. If I only had yellow in one spot, she might look more like an alien. But because yellow is everywhere, and it's not odd for this painting. It's not a weird thing to do in the realm of this painting. So that's why it works. And so we can.
So your eye differentiates.
Yeah, your eye just begins to adapt, and it begins to see. So the orange skin tones in that one figure, when you see me post it, you'll see what I'm talking about. It really looks like skin tone. It doesn't read as orange. You don't look and go, oh, that's an orange girl with orange skin tone. It starts to really just look like skin tone. And this is a bright yellow, right? This is bright yellow that I'm putting on there. When I hold it up next to the purple, you can see how yellow it is. But in contrast to here, it reads as just white or a light tone or pink or like a light skin tone. And so that's the trick. That's kind of why I wanted to choose a portrait and a landscape, so you could see, what you're able to do. And I'm going to get a smaller brush for the details in there, but I don't want to stop yet with this bigger brush yet. Just yet. This is a filbert. It's a big filbert from our Fearless series. It's a really good brush. I really love this brush.
Are some subjects better for limited palette than others?
I think anything can be a limited palette, honestly. I think surprise people, what you wouldn't think would work for a limited palette, can really. So I would be creative and surprising, and somewhat odd and unpredictable if you're going to do something experimental like this with a limited palette. So I really feel like almost anything goes. I can't think of a subject matter that wouldn't work with limited palette. I think portraits are great because you're used to them being brown, and so many artists just settle for brown paint, and they get out burnt sienna, raw umber, burnt umber, and white, and they just mix everything brown. And I never hardly ever use those colors. If I do, I always throw something else into it. I don't just use it on its own. I think of all the browns like black and white, and they're only there as a base or something, and I almost always throw another color into it. Okay, I feel like I gotta work on the eyes a little bit because, you know, this is looking pretty good, but if you have ugly looking eyes, you know, it's not gonna work. So, more of a detailed brush. So now I have this, oh my gosh, I'm spacing out what you call these brushes. Round. I have a round brush. Yeah. Now there's a couple exceptions where you don't have to put yellow in there, and I'm literally talking very, very little exceptions. So I need this color like dark, 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 almost like black. And if I were to put yellow into it, it would lighten it too much. So that is this only on the eyeballs am I breaking the rules, and it won't affect my painting. It's not gonna, you know, make the painting look messed up. So, or like not a yellow painting. So that's why I'm breaking the rules. But if I don't do it, then her eyes won't look right. So
Would you say limited palette helps you incorporate creative blocks?
yeah, I think anytime you take away choices and limit yourself in any way creatively, you know, whether that's time, materials, anything, you are going to have, you know, a creative breakthrough or discovery of some sort. It's pretty much inevitable. So, you know, when we did the intuitive painting and we limited ourselves by taking away the source, it made me do things I wouldn't normally do. You know, paint an orange girl with orange skin tone. So yeah, it's really important. Let's talk a little bit about the decorative market and you know what all that is, and if I can put a sentence together, and yeah, and how limited palette plays into that. So, okay, those eyes are looking a little better. So there's sort of two markets out there in the art world, and I think lately, in the last 5 years, they've sort of bridged together a lot more than they used to, which is good news for artists because you can kind of dibble dabble in both markets and sell almost the same artwork to each market. So the decorative market is just as it sounds, for the decor market, for decorators, people that sort of work in the interior design fields. It's a commercial a lot of times in the hospitality section of, so what that means is like restaurants, hospitals, hotels. A lot of hotels need artwork. They need them in their lobbies. They need them in the rooms, and it's this is really hard. There's a whole industry around it. There's dealers that specialize in getting artwork to those clients. There's designers that specialize in providing the artwork and working with artists on commissions and collaborations, or specific requests that happen. So it's really fun and exciting. John, my husband, and I, we worked in that part of the industry for many, many years, pretty exclusively. And then we started selling more in galleries to collectors. And there's even galleries that specialize in decorative art. So it's really a cool thing. And anymore, because of the internet and Instagram and Pinterest, people's taste in decorative art has really gone up. And that's opened it up for artists to kind of double up and show their collectible art that's more towards fine art in those decorative markets. So whenever you have a limited palette, it automatically adds a level of sophistication to your artwork if you do it right. If you don't do it right, then it does the opposite effect. But if you do it like I'm showing you, and you may not get this in your first painting, you may struggle with this. Maybe it's 3 times before you really nail it. If you have all these color to make that sort of monochromatic look to your painting and have one dominant color in a limited palette, it's easier to decorate with. And it's going to look really, really sophisticated because you have, through your skill and your knowledge, you've produced, a million shades of yellow and created this sort of limited palette painting. Now imagine you're a decorator and you are, decorating a home or an office or, a hotel, area or something, and you have yellow accents somewhere in the room. Maybe even the furniture has kind of a yellow cast to it, or it's that maple that's stained kind of towards yellow. Maybe there's a lot of gold in the room. Maybe the mirrors are framed in gold. Maybe the handles on the drawers have gold, and they want to use the art to get your eye to pick up on that gold. Gold is really hot these days, so that's why a yellow painting would work with those gold accents. And so this yellow painting has those ideas of gold in them, and so this painting on the wall will pick that up. And it won't confuse, like if there was a lot of blue and green and red and a bunch of other colors in it, it won't pick up that gold. So a limited palette painting is like a targeted bomb in the room that says to the eye, look here, look here, look here. Because our eye always wants to get our same M&M colors in a pile. Right? That we just do that in our mind. Our eye always does that. So you remember when you were a little kid and you got Skittles or M&Ms and you piled it up. If you have this personality, some of you may not have this personality. I used to do it, and I would put all my brown ones, and I would eat those last because I didn't want to eat the brown ones. And then I would put the green ones and the yellow ones and the red ones, and I would put them in piles, and I ate my red ones first because they were my favorite, and so because I liked red. So anyway, when we go into a room, we begin to categorize colors like that, and we notice subconsciously all of the colors that fall into the same categories. So if there's an accent color of red, your eye will begin to see everything that has red in it. So a limited palette painting gives the decorator a really great tool to be able to sort of put an exclamation point in the room on what they want you to look at. So that is my little tip on limited palette. And because I wasn't painting when I said that, now I'm behind the times here, but I at least made sense when I was talking, so that's good. All right. Let's see here. I'm just kind of making them so that it looked kind of stark here, like I guess I'm cheating. What I'm doing is I'm cheating because I'm running out of time, and I really need to put a lot more details in there to make that eye more believable. So if I put these sort of expressive marks, I'm sort of pushing the eye back so we don't notice it as much. and that will, you know, help me out. It's a way, oops, so that's too much. That's way too much. My brushes went crazy. My brush had a mind of its own. So what do you do? What do you do when that happens? What do you do? Well, you can wait for it to dry, which is probably what I should do. Probably just wait like 3 minutes for it to dry, and then I'll just go back over that spot with some dark paint and put her eyeball back in. No big deal. The other thing I could do, but it's risky, is I could wet my paper towel and just wipe it out, but then it'll probably smear it. So I think I'm just gonna let it dry, and we'll just have like a messed up eyeball for a few seconds. So that's that. That's just what happens sometimes. Okay, so we're almost getting ready for, so in the question and answer, you guys can ask me anything. You can ask me about any of our programs. You can ask about anything you want to know about selling art. You can ask, obviously, technique questions, really anything. You can ask me anything that you want. So we're going to do that in just a second here. I'm just trying to get a few more details on here. No, but it depends on the source. If I follow, he asked if I follow my source exactly every time, and it really just depends on the source. If I did a pretty good job making the source and I like it the way I made it as is, then I tend to follow it more. So then if I kind of, I don't know, there's some things in the source I don't like, then I will, I'll innovate it as I go. I want to practice actually painting without sources a little bit more, like we did in the workshop, last workshop, because it's like a really good challenge, and I really liked seeing, even though my painting wasn't so hot until I got a source, I liked kind of seeing what emerged and then finding a source afterwards that sort of fits with that. I really kind of, that was pretty rewarding and interesting. So I would like to do that. I guess I change it up all the time. I don't have like a definite system each and every time. Okay, winding down here, getting close. I haven't stood back to look at it either, though I should do that to see what kind of, but what do you think? Do you think that the skin tones, look like skin tones? Do you think that they, or does she look like an alien? So, yeah, so let us know in the comments what you're thinking. If you're kind of seeing the magic of a limited palette, even in terms of skin tone, or what? Okay, that paint I messed up should be dry now, so I'm going to put the dark back in. And I still have it here mixed, so I don't have to, reinvent the wheel or anything. There. So no big deal. Wasn't like a huge, terrible disaster. Let me do some final little things in the background here, and I still have this kind of funny spot here.
So you talked a little bit about using Pixelmator and other tools to make your source. Did you pick photos that were the color, or did you put like filters over it to kind of?
Yeah, what I did in this is these were just normal photographs, and I put, first of all, I took one of my abstract paintings. So that is all this abstract stuff you see back there that's coming in. So well, actually it's two abstract paintings. So I combined this abstract painting here with another abstract painting that was dominantly yellow. It was a limited palette yellow abstract of mine. So that's kind of what inspired, I guess, everything. And then from that abstract, I added the girl, and she was, I forget, I probably just like a normal photograph, could have even been black and white, I don't remember now. And I changed her hair, and I changed her tone, so I went into color and not filters, but it's colorize. And so I just moved the little dial to yellow. You can just move it and you'll see her face change color. So when it was the right shade of yellow that I liked, then I kept that. And then I did the same thing for the mountains. So the mountains were probably gray or something like that, and I just shifted the color to yellow. And then it mixed with the violet that was in that abstract, but it kind of put a yellow dinge on it over it. So that's basically how I did that. How are we doing on time?
It's almost 12:30.
Okay, so I better stop soon, like now. Oh, it's so hard because I want to finish. Okay. Okay, seriously, 1 minute, and then I'm gonna call it done for now. How about that? But if I don't do this, I won't be able to sleep tonight, so I have to. I have to. So sometimes you want kind of fine lines and stuff in your painting, and I'm gonna show you how you do that. So I'm using medium, I'm using water, and I got this dark color, and I have this round brush. And as you can see, the tip of it is pretty pointed. And if you only touch the tip, the very tippy tip of the brush, it will leave a pretty fine line on there. So I'm gonna start, because I got a lot of paint on there, with these thicker lines, and I'm holding it back here so I don't put a lot of pressure. If I were to hold it up here and push down, it would be too much pressure. So I'm holding it back here so I have like a very light touch, and I can just kind of get, fine lines on there. And so, and you're gonna be more fluid with that if you hold it in the back. So I'm basically want to add, just to balance, because see, without that dark there, it's not balanced. So that's why I wouldn't be able to sleep tonight. It's just a little compositional thing. I wanted to add that in there because this really makes, I think, the piece compositionally. So, and I'm not following it exactly. I'm just kind of getting an idea. So if you struggle with abstract elements in your art and you want it to be, loose and sort of free looking, you don't have to copy those, but if you put them in your source originally, then it gives you sort of a launching point of how you can do that and accomplish that without, having to invent it completely from scratch. So the other thing I wanted to do is just kind of carry it, same color, same idea, to the edge, and that will sort of ground her so she's not a floating head in the painting. Okay, now I could just go on and add some things, and I really want to do that, but I got to stop. And just basically call it, mostly done for now. I think I got pretty far along, and really got the point across about yellow. I think when you look at this painting, it's a limited palette. It's definitely dominant in yellow. Every single color in here has yellow in some degree mixed into it. It might just be a smidge, except for the eyes, where it's really, really dark. And I don't think I added yellow here because that's that same dark I put in the eyes. But it doesn't read as a color, it kind of reads as a black. So I think it's okay. It still helps this painting become a dominant color. So if a decorator were saying, oh, I really need a yellow paint in this room, maybe they would choose this one because it satisfies that ability to be able to throw something that has a dominant color in a room. Okay, so we are going to you guys don't want to miss out on, so Haley, if you are watching, get on Zoom. We're kind of waiting for you. So yeah, at the end we're going to do a giveaway, and we have a free gift, which is going to be great, and something special for everyone that's watching here. So that'll be really good. So what we can do is start our question and answer section, and I'm going to show you what we are going to give away. I don't know if I'm supposed to do that, if I'm supposed to spill the beans or not, so I'm going to spill it. So I'm going to show you what's in here later, but what we are giving away is this art box, so a Milan Art Club art box, and inside are art supplies. And somebody's going to get this. We're going to send it to you, and you get to have it. So we're going to do a giveaway at the end of this art club art box. And so that will be really, really fun. Okay, so what kind of questions do we have?
Yeah, so I saved a bunch from the whole chat. So starting from the top, Bjorn Bronstedt is wondering, but how does that go when the limited palette is yellow? Do you then put so much yellow in the blue that it becomes a yellowish green, or do you keep a blue with a slight hint of yellow so you have a blue-green color?
Okay, one more time. Just I got distracted.
Do you add more yellow into the blue, or do you add more blue into the yellow?
If you're going for a yellow painting, you would add if you needed the color to really shift. First of all, you shouldn't have a strong blue in your painting for a limited palette painting. So even where I had these sort of violets, they're much stronger. Violet is a lot stronger in my source, like up in here and down in here, than I have. I browned it out, and I used sort of an even amount of the magenta and or violet and yellow. So if you want it to kind of shift towards blue or green, you would just use a little bit of that blue to do that. You really want to stay as much as you can in the family of yellow. So if you took blue and then just put a tiny bit of yellow into it, you're going to end up with like a blue-green, almost turquoise, and then it'll throw off the limited palette look, because the color, when you look at it, is going to be basically a blue. Now, if you only have it a little bit, like I have a little bit of that sort of reddish, tone, there is some other color in there. You wouldn't look at that and go, oh, that's a yellow. You wouldn't look at this necessarily and say that's yellow. But it's got enough of the yellow in it, it still has that cohesive look. So if you had blue, you would only want it just a little bit in your painting. Okay, so we are going to introduce Haley here. So I gotta put my earphones on. Okay, so Haley, are you there? Hey, oh, I can hear you. Wow, this is like magic. No? You can't hear her? Uh-oh. Can you see her? You can see her, but you can't hear her? Okay. So what about now? Talk a little bit, Haley.
Hey.
Can you hear now? Can you hear now? No? Okay, talk again, Haley.
Hello.
Give me the microphone. Okay, we're gonna get this to work. I just know it. Okay. Okay, try it one more time.
Hello.
Okay. All right. I have this microphone here held up to the speaker. I can do it. Okay. Okay, so Haley, how are you?
I am good.
Okay, so we have this guest here. So this is Haley. She is an artist, and she won in December. It was December, right?
Yeah.
She won the competition that we had in art club, and so you won $500. Is that right? And you
Yeah.
were the community choice winner. So we don't choose. The community art club members vote on who wins, and they chose your painting. And do we have her painting to show? You're showing it? All right. So there's her painting. And so you can see the painting that won. Is that right? Did they do it right, Haley? Is that the right painting?
I can't see it.
Oh, that's okay. So where are you from? Tell us where you're
It's
from.
actually just behind me, so
Oh,
if you can see that.
well, Tanner put it up there, so everybody got to see it. And we're gonna put your
I
Instagram
can see it
handle
now.
in the chat. So if people want to follow you, they can. So where are you calling from?
I'm from England, north of England.
North of England. And how long have you been an art club member?
I've been in art club since the first day it started. So
Oh, wow.
I don't know how long ago that was. I think it was middle of 2020, I think.
Okay. Did you
So yeah, I've
participate
been
in?
along the whole.
Have you participated in all of the competitions?
I've missed a few, but most of them I've participated.
Has art club and the prompts each month and the motivation in the community, has it helped you paint and continually paint, or?
Definitely. I think it's really difficult as artists when you don't have a lot of people around you to motivate you. So I go to art club every month, every day to keep me painting. It gives me a lot of inspiration.
Yeah. Do you watch all the? We have like over 200 videos in instructional videos, motivational videos, like everything from like how to paint clouds to new techniques, mixed media. There's all kinds of videos in there. Do you watch those videos? Do they help you in your painting and adapt it to your own style?
It's so exciting every month to get this bunch of videos, and you never know what you're going to get, and they're all so helpful. And there's the technique ones, there's techniques that I use in my paintings now from art club that I've learned, and then there's the inspirational talks which I listen to while I paint. It's really, really helpful.
That's so cool. Well, we're going to take some more questions from the chat, and of course, if you have a question for Haley, you're welcome to ask her. Maybe you'll know some of these, and then we'll talk to you a little bit more also. So
Yeah.
Oh, you have the I have the microphone.
So Robin Sievers is wondering, does it matter?
Robin, hi Robin.
Does it matter if the color you're mixing the yellow with warm or cool? If your yellow is cool, does your mixing color need to stay cool?
Yeah, so she's asking in oil, if you have a cool yellow, does the color you're throwing that into need to also be cool? And I would say yes, if you want it to recede. If you're aiming for that color to move back and recede into the background, then you would want to mix cool with cool. If you sort of want it to be neutral and kind of stay in a mid-ground, then you wouldn't have to. So yeah. Warm and cool doesn't change in limited palette. It's the same old rules.
Okay. Yeah. And Tara D is wondering, I love to see brushstrokes in paintings, but I have a hard time leaving them. Any suggestion on how to stay loose in a painting?
Yes.
I have a hard time letting go on a painting and just relax with it.
Haley, you have beautiful brushstrokes in your art. Did you ever struggle with that? Did you ever struggle with leaving brushstrokes? Were you ever a blendy, smoothie?
Yes, I struggle with that still. I am probably the most blendy, smoothie person. So it's been a struggle to learn to leave the brushstrokes, but it's really beautiful when you can get the right brushstroke in the right place. So it's definitely something I'm trying to keep doing.
Yeah, so other than just really trying and being conscious of it, is there any tricks you have?
I don't know. I mean, I think you need to remember that people like to see these brushstrokes because the brushstrokes are a part of you. And as soon as you put a brushstroke down, it leaves that mark. And if you brush that away, then you've just eliminated that part of you.
Yeah.
So I think people love to see that. So you have to remind yourself, even when you're painting a face and you just want to smooth it out, that leaving these marks, it really gives a lot of form, and it's really beautiful to look at.
Well, it sounds like she really wants to. Tara wants to leave the brush strokes, and she's just struggling with being able to do it. So what I do is this doesn't have paint on it, but let's say it did, and you're wanting to paint here. What I do is I just dip the brush in the paint. I get it loaded up how I want it. And then I just I think about how am I going to deliver the paint. Is it going to go like this? Or is it just one square I want to leave? What is that shape I want to leave? And I'll turn my brush depending on that shape. Is it this shape you want? Is it more like this shape that you want? What shape do you want? And you choose your brush and you choose how you deliver the paint based on that. And then you just, once your brush goes down, you leave it. It's a one-shot deal. You just do that. And then if you want to get more paint, you can, or you go somewhere else on your painting and you leave one brush stroke. What you don't want to do, you cannot blend if you just leave a brush stroke and you sort of stack brush strokes, right? So I left these brush strokes. I didn't blend them in. Their edges are still seen. So how you blend and how you get rid of brush strokes is you put it down, you go, oh, it's showing up too much. And so then you kind of smooth it out, and then you dab, blah, blah, blah. You blend, you do this sort of thing to blend the edges, right? You might even take another brush and sort of blend like that, and you actually literally blend out your brush stroke. So don't do that. That's all you have to do is just don't do that. Don't fiddle on the edges and blend the edges. If you feel like this is too strong, then you just stack another brush stroke on top of it that adjusts it. And so that's a real key, is you just maybe want to take a painting and just say, I'm not going to, on this painting, fiddle with any of my brush strokes. I'm just going to put it down and leave it. Put it down and leave it. I had this one, in fact, her name was Tara, so that's interesting. It's so funny. But I had this one student that took the mastery program on site, and she blended all her brush strokes out, even though she didn't want to. And I literally sat over her for about 30 minutes while she was painting, and she would lay a brush stroke down, and I go, okay, leave it. And then she'd go and do another one. I go, okay, leave it. Don't blend it, leave it. And I was like over her shoulder, like telling her not to blend her paint every time. And it's like it broke this need or this feeling like that she had to smooth out the edges. Because when you leave a brushstroke that shows up so strong, it feels so uncomfortable. I think it touches on vulnerability. And if you have a hard time with vulnerability, leaving your brushstroke exposed like that feels, you feel naked all of a sudden as an artist. Maybe that's dramatic, but it kind of feels that way. I mean, any artist that struggles with this, I think you know what I'm talking about. So, is there another question?
So Cheryl is wondering, I have a question for the monthly challenge. This month we have to paint just paint a mountain, or we can do a source which includes mountains, like multiple.
Yeah, you can. So in this art club, so really if you guys are in art club, this is a really great workshop for you because we are literally demonstrating exactly what you can do. Like I literally did the challenge. It's a portrait, but because there's mountains in there, I painted my mountain. So the challenge is basically to paint your mountain. So somewhere in the painting there needs to be a mountain. If you want to add animals, or you want to add landscape, you want to add a portrait, you want it to be abstract, really abstract with just a mountain there, it's totally up to you. The theme is paint your mountain. So whatever that means to you, it should have an image of a mountain and be limited palette. So basically you can do exactly like what I did, but in your own way with your own imagery. Yeah.
Jody Miller is wondering, does she have all of her darks in and is painting from darks to light, dark to light, or will she be putting in more darks later?
If she's painting in acrylic, you can always add darks later. If you're painting in oil, I would get all your darks in first, because as you know, oil paint can get muddy, and so, yeah.
Okay. And Jacqueline Penner is wondering, how do you know when to stop with acrylics and then switch over to the oil layer?
Oh,
that's something that a lot of people are
asking. That's $1 million question. I think it totally depends on you. On acrylic, I could stop right now and go to oil, which would be really far along. I could stop a lot sooner. Sometimes I just put a little abstract wash down, and then I do a lot of oil on top. So it's really 100% up to you in your process. What I think you don't want to do is do two completely rendered out paintings, one on top of the other. So spend all this time painting your acrylic painting, and then spend another, several hours painting the exact same painting but in oil on top. I think you want to, if you go far along in your acrylic, you're not going to do that much in oil. You're just going to add maybe 25%, a few glazes, a couple details, a couple brush strokes, and basically let your acrylic sort of stand as that neutral. So maybe you'll put in a few cools to push something back, and a few warms on things that are really close, and highlights. And so you're not going to oil paint a lot. That's what I would say. Okay, Haley, I want to know, how did you feel when you found out that you won the contest in December? What was that like?
I actually cried.
Oh, that's so cool.
I did. Happy tears, obviously. It means so much to, especially the community winner. It means so much to win that one because it's voted by everyone. So it gave me such a lift of confidence. It made me so happy, and I feel, like I just want to do the next painting and enter the next challenge. So
yeah,
it was really great.
Yeah, it probably felt very validating, that your art's really good, that people really love it. Especially if you've participated in a lot of them and you haven't won, and then you win one. So it's really cool. So now all of those years you paid for Art Club got paid for all at once, with your prize money.
Yeah. I was looking at in the chat, and there's quite a few people that aren't in Art Club or have just signed up. So I would say to everyone, just sign up and take part and watch all the videos. When I signed up, it was for inspiration, and I never expected to win one of the contests. So to win was amazing, but the inspiration and the community you get from Art Club is really the biggest thing that you would take from it.
Yeah, and you're on the new platform, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and so so Art Club just got moved to our new platform. So we have our own social media. It's called milanart.com. And so it's a really great community of artists. And then your Art Club is right on there. And it's almost like Netflix for artists, the way it's kind of looks and it's organized. And you can find you have a whole library of videos. The outstanding artists in the series is on there. It's really great and really easy to use. Well, we're super excited for you, Haley, and yeah, and I thank you for coming on here and just sharing your experience with Art Club, and we just wanted to celebrate you, winning and everything, and yeah, and so I don't know if we'll have any more questions or anything, but one more. There's one more question for you. Oh.
So a lot of people are wondering tips on how to price your artwork.
Oh, okay. Tips on how to price your artwork. So that is a really good question. So because our school mostly focuses on, Haley, are you in the mastery program?
I've actually just graduated in September.
Oh, you graduated from the mastery program. Oh, that's cool. Okay. That's awesome. Okay, so Haley, did you learn how to? Oh yeah, they didn't hear her say that. Did you learn how to price your artwork in the mastery program?
Yeah, well, that is a difficult thing to do. I think it's different for everyone, and especially the market that you're trying to go into. But I know what you taught us was, I think it was $1.50 to $3 a square inch. So I stick somewhere around that.
Yeah, so what I would say, how you would price your artwork, the kind of short answer is what Haley was saying is it really depends on who you're selling to and where you're at in your career. If you're sort of just starting out, I know a lot of our mastery students, in case you don't know what the mastery program is, it's our 1-year program that takes you from, you don't have to know anything. You don't have to have any skill or you just need passion and a willingness to learn and hard work. And we teach you everything. So we teach you how to oil paint, how to draw, how to find your voice, your style, and how to market and sell your artwork. So if you are just like getting started, you're kind of in that learning phase, and you're really selling to your support group or friends, or people on Facebook or Instagram, and you haven't really kind of gotten into the art market yet, then really anything goes. You can sell your artwork from $50 up to $1,500. It's really up to you and what you feel like it's worth and what you can get for it. I always say, especially if you're first starting out, it's good to sell it for less rather than more, and just sell it. Just start a precedent of sales. I have found that anything between $200 and $500 will sell like that. Like people will just buy it for that price. Even if it's something that's kind of small or medium size, That's just a price point almost anybody can afford. Now, if you're really far along in your career and you've already sold a bunch of artwork, your skills are really high, you have found your voice, you found your style, you have a cohesive body of work, I mean, you really could begin contacting galleries, then I would say you want to price your work no less than $1.50 a square inch and up to like $3 a square inch. So that would be your best bet if you are already sort of a professional and going into the art market. Yeah, so what about you, Haley? Did you sell any of your artwork while you were in the mastery program?
I didn't actually, but I didn't actually try.
Oh, you didn't try?
Because, no.
But you saw in the community that a lot of people were selling their artwork already, huh?
Oh, yeah, definitely a lot of people have. I'm a bit shy with my artwork, so with sharing it. So that's something I'm having to work through, is be more market focused and share a lot more.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, so that was a good question. And also, if you guys are interested in the mastery program, we only have registration a few times a year, and the next registration I think is about the end of March. But we're running a pre-registration right now, which is really, really great because we have a pre-registration course that teaches you how to set up a studio, how to really organize your studio. It teaches you a lot of foundational things, a lot of right brain type exercises. It's a really, really great way to get prepared for the mastery program, and it's totally free. Teaches you all about art supplies. It's free content. So how you pre-register is you just go on our website, click on the mastery program. There might even be, I don't know if they're going to put a link in the chat, but you just click on the mastery program, and it takes you to pre-registration. It's free. And also, there's a giveaway in there that's really cool. So if you go to the pre-registration, you'll see what that is. Okay, so let's give away this art box, this art club art box. So let's see what's inside of it. Should we open it and see what's inside? Okay, so how you are going to, when I say go, and I'm not saying go yet, when I say go, how you're going to win this is you're going to put your favorite emoji in the chat, and it's going to be a random sort of lottery of how it's chosen. So when I say go, but first let's look at what's in here. So first of all, isn't this a cute box? I love this box. Inside, it looks like there's a QR code for, I don't have my glasses on. Anyway, there's a QR code. I bet there's something good on there. I don't know what it is. And then look at this cool wrapping paper that you can use to collage. And it is a tube of black open acrylic. So this stays wet a very long time. There is a pad of canvas paper here. And then we have a gold leaf kit with all kinds of gold leaf and the sizing and all the things you need for gold leaf. And then we have this wipeout tool for subtraction. Oh, I know what the QR code is. Duh. Oh my gosh. Okay, this is the best part. So on here, what this is you get a free instructional video. So on how to create a really cool piece of artwork with these materials, and the only materials you need are these materials. So this QR code, all you do is you run your phone over it, and the instructional video will pop up, and you have this whole lesson on how to use these different materials to create your own painting. And I've seen people post their paintings, and they are super duper cool. So anyway, so we're giving that away. So you guys ready? Here is the giveaway. Ready, set, go. Put your favorite emoji, and then we'll choose a winner. Okay, so keep going, keep going. Okay, this is like Russian roulette here. Haley, did you put your favorite emoji in? See if you win.
Oh, am I allowed to?
Well, of course you are.
Okay, good.
Since you're on a winning streak. Okay, do we have a winner yet? Do we have a winner yet?
Not yet. It's still coming.
Okay.
Oh, okay, so do like a 5-second countdown.
Okay, so here's countdown. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, do we have a winner? I'm waiting for the computer to dish out the winner here. You gotta love technology. We need one of those bingo, things that you turn the handle and then, you remember those? You've seen them on old TV shows? Okay, do we have a winner? Are you gonna announce the winner?
Yes. So the winner is, if they could write in the chat that they are, if they claim it, Martiza Martinez.
Okay.
Martiza Martinez.
Martiza Martinez, you are the winner of the Art Club Art Box. So congratulations. And so how are we going to get in contact? I guess email. What you need to do is we should have her email, right? Yeah. Because we don't want you to give your address, right, publicly. So we need to know your address. So email info@Milan Art Institute. And we wrote your name down, so we know you're the winner. So email us and let us know what your address is so we can ship this to you. And so congratulations for winning the Art Club box. Okay, so now for the surprise, the big surprise of what everybody gets. So we have been talking a lot about Art Club because it's a really cool thing. It's a super, just fantastic community. There's so much to learn there. I really can't say enough about it. It's one of our very best things that we do at the school here. And it's such a fantastic, there's so many fantastic resources. There's over 200 instructional videos in there. There's all kinds of motivation, inspiration, a fantastic community. And so everybody who's watching, so this goes to every single one of you that's watching, you get an entire month free of Art Club. So all you have to do is follow the link that will be provided in the chat, and you can participate. And here's the great thing. This is the really cool thing. And what to see how to do a limited palette painting, paint your mountain, right? You just saw how you could do it, and that is this month's contest. So you can participate in the contest this month with your free month of Art Club, and you can upload your artwork. You know how to do it now. You watched a whole thing about it. You can also learn the other way of limited palette painting, because that instructional video, and you can participate in all this, and you can enter your painting in the contest, and you might win. And even if you don't win, it's so fun to enter. I mean, Haley, you didn't win like several times, right? And you entered one almost every month. So it's just really fun, and it's fun to participate in all the excitement. It's fun to see what everybody puts out there. It's a very supportive community. It's not competitive. Even though we have these competitions, it's not cutthroat in any way. Everybody's ultra positive and super supportive, and you are really gonna love it. So don't miss this opportunity. Be sure to claim your free month of Art Club, and you get to participate in this month's challenge of limited palette paint your mountain. And you even learned in this workshop how to do it. So we're super excited about this. And be sure to get on our milanart.com platform. It's a social media just for artists, and you can make a profile there. You can put all your paintings up like your own gallery, on your profile, and everybody can see your paintings. Make sure you follow me or friend me, and I'll friend you back. And you can make all kinds of new friends on there and see all kinds of cool things and get feedback and critiques on your artwork. We have coaches and professional artists that are on milanart.com on our social media, and they give critiques and feedback to people who post their artwork. So that's a really cool feature. And really, as artists, we need feedback. We need to hear, what can improve our paintings, and what we're doing right, and kind of see people's reactions. So it's a really safe community. It's really just artists that are on there, and it's really, really fantastic. We have amazing plans in the future of what we're going to do with it, and all kinds of cool things that are coming in the next few months. So I think that is about it. So be sure to claim your free month of Art Club. Don't miss that. I really enjoyed this. I hope you guys did too. I hope you had fun. I hope you learned a lot. And congratulations to the winner of the Art Box. And we will see you guys at the next workshop.